Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Hello everyone. In these occasions, we are going to present our discussions about implementing literacy strategies in learning. In ruang kolaborasi topik 2, literasi dalam lintas mata pelajaran, PPG Calon Guru Gelombang 2 tahun 2024, Universitas Pakuan. Before we begin, allow us to introduce ourselves. The group members consist of Nada Syafia Fariza, Syarifah Mawaddah, Ima Yosi Antari, Asti Dayano, and Jatniatur Rahmi.
Alright, before we start to the material, I would like to read the questions that we will explain later. So the first question is, what strategies are used in the literacy activities? And the second question is, are the literacy activities implemented in accordance with the strategies used? Question number 3, what are the advantages and disadvantages of the strategy? And the last question is, what are your recommendations for the literacy activities in the broadcast? Strategies that use in the literacy. So actually based on the video, Budi, the teachers, use Freyer mode, but with some approaches. So the Freyer mode itself is to help students to organize information about vertebrate groups. These strategies allow students to gradually fill the information, starting from the group name to its characteristic example of animals. The approaches that the teacher use in Freyer mode is, the first one is group-based learning. Budi divides students into several groups, each responsible for discussing and presenting information about a specific vertebrate. Second approach is interactive discussion. This creates an interactive learning environment and encourages students to think critically. Student presentations. Each group is required to present their work in front of the class, so this not only enhances public speaking skills but also provides students with the opportunity to share their knowledge with their classmates.
And the next question is, are the literacy activities being conducted aligned with the strategies used? Based on our discussions, the answer is yes. The literacy activities are aligned with the strategies used in the video. However, we believe they are not yet fully optimal. Why? Because the video only shows the students are instructed to gather as much information as possible without any process for verifying sources or evaluating the reliability of the text they read. This could lead to misconceptions and missed opportunities to develop critical literacy skills. Additionally, based on what we have observed in the video, the strategies used are really similar to cooperative learning. Students are divided into groups, with each group are assigned a different subtopic to research, such as mammals, birds, and amphibians. After they gather information, the group have to present their findings and their students' worksheets. So to optimize the literacy activities, we really recommend to incorporate source verification and evaluation processes to enhance critical thinking skills. Ensuring students learn how to distinguish credible information will strengthen their understanding and help achieve the intended literacy outcomes.
Okay, here I'm going to explain more about the advantages of using Freyer strategy. As we know that the Freyer model is a graphic organizer that helps students understand and retain vocabulary or concept by categorizing information into 4 sections. These are definition, characteristics, examples, and non-examples. And here are some advantages of using the Freyer strategy in teaching and learning. The first is enhances deep understanding. This strategy encourages students to analyze concepts beyond simple memorization and helps in developing critical thinking by exploring characteristics, examples, and non-examples. And the second is, this strategy could promote active learning, engage students in meaningful discussions, and also encourages collaboration and participation when used in groups. The third advantage is builds vocabulary skills. This strategy could help students understand complex terms by breaking them into relatable parts and also improve long-term retention of academic vocabulary. The fourth is support differentiated instruction. This strategy can be adapted for various subjects and skill levels and allows students to visualize and organize their thoughts effectively. And the last is develops higher order thinking skills. This strategy encourages comparison and contrast through example and non-examples and could also help students connect new knowledge to prior learning experiences.
The drawbacks of the Freyer strategy. The Freyer strategy has several drawbacks, including the first is takes time. Filling out the columns takes time, especially for complex concepts. So the Freyer model strategy requires students to fill in various sections consisting of definition, attribute, example, and non-example for each concept. It can take quite a long time, especially if the concepts being taught are complex or hard to understand. The second is difficult for struggling students. Students with low understanding may struggle to identify the right attribute or example. So, for students with a lower level of understanding, identifying the correct attribute, providing relevant example, and distinguishing between example and non-example can be a significant challenge. They might feel confused or frustrated because the thinking process required is highly structured and demands good analytical skills. The third is limited focus. It only emphasizes definition and attribute, reducing broader understanding. So, the Freyer model focuses more on definition and attribute, which can cause students to focus on narrower elements of the concept itself. It can limit opportunities for students to develop a more holistic understanding or to grasp the interconnection between concepts in a broader context. The fourth is needs guidance. Students need clear instruction to fill out the model correctly. So, this model is highly structured, which means it requires clear guidance or instruction from the teacher. Without proper instruction, students might fill in the section of the model inappropriately or superficially. It would reduce the effectiveness of the Freyer model in facilitating a deep understanding of the concept. And the last is feels rigid. The model structure can limit students' creativity and deeper understanding. So, for some students, the Freyer model might feel too rigid. They might feel restricted in their critical or creative thinking because they are overly focused on the columns and feel the need to fill in each section in a specific way with no room for expressing their own ideas or a more flexible understanding.
The last one is about recommendation for literacy activity in the presentations may include several important aspects that can enhance the effectiveness of learning. Here are some suggestions. The first one, implementation of a scientific approach. Using a scientific approach in biology education can improve students' scientific literacy competencies. This approach involves steps such as observing, questioning, gathering information, conducting experiments, and communicating results which can provide a deeper and more constructed learning experience. The next one, effective reading strategies. The importance of reading strategies in biology education cannot be overlooked. Teaching students effective reading technique can help them better understand the material and assign their analytical skill regarding scientific information. The third one, using of digital media. With advancement in information technology, the use of digital media as teaching material is highly recommended. This includes the development of e-book or online learning sources relevant to the topic being taught, allowing students to access information more easily and quickly. The next one, collaboration among students. Encouraging collaboration among students through group discussion or joint project that enhance their engagement and understanding of the material. This also helps students learn from each other and strengthens their social skill. The next one, continuous evaluations. Conducting continuous evaluation of student understanding after each learning session is crucial. This can be done through quizzes, discussion, or group presentation to ensure that the student truly grasps the concept of being taught. The last one, integrations of practical skill, such as experiment or field observation, into the biology curriculum can help students apply theory to real-world practice, thereby strengthening their understanding of scientific concepts. By implementing this recommendation, it is hoped that literacy activity in biology education can become more effective and engaging for students, as well as enhance their overall scientific literacy skill.
And the last is conclusion. These strategies foster engaging and impactful learning experiences by promoting active students' participation through interaction and collaboration. Group discussions provide a platform for students to exchange ideas, clarify concepts, and approach problems from diverse perspectives, enhancing their understanding of complex topics like the classification of living organisms. Hands-on activities further reinforce learning by allowing students to apply theoretical knowledge practically, bridging the gap between abstract concept and real-world applications. This approach not only cultivates critical thinking skills, but also stimulates creativity as students explore solutions and make connections between their material and their everyday life. By integrating interactive methods, the learning process becomes more meaningful, relevant, and applicable, preparing students to better comprehend and navigate real-world challenges. That's all from our presentation. Thank you very much for your attention. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.